You get in a debate with this guy. You beat him in the debate, you win. It'll put such a focus on the TV debate that will inevitably occur that she gets a buy all the way to that debate, it seems.
Well, Chris, the larger point is that this is if it happens.
I thought that was the larger point.
No, it is the larger point. But this would be in Kentucky terms, this would be a new style campaign. In other words, Kentucky has been a state, one of the most traditional, where you go courthouse to courthouse, county to county. You rely, if you're a Democrat, on the Democratic Party organization. By the way, the Democratic Party organization in Kentucky, and I was at their big dinner this week down in Kentucky, they don't want Ashley Judd. They know politics in a different way.
They
don't have anybody. That's the thing. They don't have anybody.
What about Conway?
Well, they don't want to run for governor in the following year. But Ashley Judd would run a new style, 21st century media-based campaign. So you're right. She would use television, especially free media. She'll get coverage like you won't believe wherever she goes in the state.
Who would not watch that debate with her and Mitch McConnell?
And then the capper of it all, you're right, after all those months of free media, would be the debates. And I know Ashley Judd some. I've watched her in public. She's sharp. She's tough. She's probably a pretty good debater. She will learn her brief. And if she makes it that far, I think she could be formidable.
Let's go to the general question. Looking at this, Alex, you and I are political people, and you got to wonder, this is the kind of thing that does brighten up politics, if you ask me, when the outsiders jump in. It's not the same old, the people that are working their way up from the state legislature. But when the other people pop in at mid-level, pretty high level here, it does spice it up. It makes it fascinating. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronald Reagan, people like that jumping in, or Al Franken, from the media world where they're well-known. Name ID. How powerful is just the fact that everybody will know who Ashley Judd is?
Huge. Massive. I mean, Al Franken was Stuart Smalley before he was a U.S. Senator. And that, at the beginning stages, I don't think was taken very seriously as far as a candidacy. Ashley Judd is, not only a very well-known Hollywood actress and beautiful and well-spoken, she's been a very outspoken advocate for women's rights. She's questioned male patriarchy. She's questioned traditional gender norms, and has done so with an amount of fluency and passion that is pretty remarkable. I would say, McConnell's people and the Republicans writ large in terms of the state of Kentucky want to make this a cultural war about a Hollywood liberal, but they also want to take on the issue of gender norms and traditional gender norms and be defenders of traditional gender norms. And as we know, Chris, the Republican Party does not tend to do very well when they take on the issue of women's health, women's rights, and gender equality in this country.
Let's take a look at the latest PPP poll. Senator Mitch McConnell's approval rating in Kentucky is deep underwater at 37% approval. Usually if you say under 50, you got a problem. He's at 37, 55% disapproval. Still a hypothetical matchup, and that same poll shows McConnell ahead of Judd, 47-43. That's not much ahead, is it, Howard?
No. No, it isn't. Now, look, traditionally, Kentucky Democrats want to nominate moderates. Bill Clinton is the last Democrat for president to have won Kentucky in 1996. To many of them, the people that I saw in Owensboro, Kentucky, were there with Wendell Ford and Bill Clinton, Ashley Judd is their worst nightmare because she is a social liberal, because she talks about gender norms, because she's against mountaintop removal and strip mining, which in eastern Kentucky is still something that a lot of people really like or view as a sort of cultural identifier. But she was reared in Kentucky. She went to school there. She's a huge
University
of Kentucky basketball fan. She knows how to touch the cultural stones, the cultural touch points. Mitch McConnell's from Louisville. Mitch McConnell has never been well liked out in the state. And I can tell you, having spent 5 years in Kentucky, that Ashley Judd, for all of her Hollywood ties, could out-country and out-Kentucky Mitch McConnell in that state. At least that's what she could try to do.
This is a little bit psychobabble, but it's what we like to do here occasionally. Alex Wagner, imagine you're Mitch McConnell. This guy's not the coolest guy in the world, but he is a pro, and he's very smart politically, very cagey, if you will. He's thinking right now, would he rather run against a no-face, boring guy from the locality, work his way up as a local lawyer or whatever, the typical candidate, or this wild card?
I think he'd rather run against the no-face, boring guy, as you say, Chris, if only because, as you pointed out, she's going to inject a ton of excitement. She has the eyeballs. There's going to be enthusiasm. She's going to have access to a ground game if the Obama campaign infrastructure works with her on this. There are going to be high-dollar donors that come into the race. I mean, it will be a high-profile race. Mitch McConnell would probably do best running as a guy that's just won all this time, so you might as well vote for him again. Once you begin questioning who he is and what he stands for, and there's a candidate on the other side that is exciting and dynamic, it's a problem for him, I think.